So what are some of your sustainability directives, specifically the tricolor market?
Well,
who wants to go?
I can take this one. We actually plan to replace the tricolor outfitters, so essentially shut it down and replace it with the Earth Center, the Oxfam Fair Trade Cooperative, and the Sustainability Office. The idea there is really that currently, as it stands, Tricolor Outfitter doesn't actually meet a niche for students. Despite it being a functional service, it doesn't actually provide anything for students that students can't get elsewhere. With the existence of Oilclad Designs in the same building as well as the bookstore, clothing really doesn't seem to be a priority. And from the students that we spoke to, very few people had actually gone in, and those that had commented on the fact that it was kind of random. And so by replacing it with essentially a green space, we're really hoping to bring sustainability to the forefront, and also just establish a place that can serve as an information center for students who are looking to find out information about on-campus green initiatives. As well, there'll be enough space available for environmental clubs to set up booths and to highlight and showcase different initiatives that they have going on. And really just serve as a place for students to come where they can purchase environmentally friendly and fair trade goods and promote healthy consumer choices.
And do you know what Tricolor Market has to say? Or?
Well, they're obviously not pleased. And to be fair, they've done a lot of work to turn themselves around this year, and that's something that should definitely be commended. But ultimately, despite its improvement over the year, we don't see the need to franchise a service that doesn't actually serve students and that isn't really in line with the AMS mandate in the way that other services do provide for students.
I think it's important to keep in mind that the AMS services are services and not businesses, and that the sole role of a service is to serve students, and really clothing is already covered by the bookstore and Oilclad Design, so it doesn't really serve students at all. So that's one of the major reasons for this drastic measure that we're taking.
Are there any other drastic measures you guys have planned, or?
I wouldn't say drastic, but I think that an interesting part of our team is that we're actually also focusing on academic issues. A lot of times, I think when it comes to student government, people tend to forget the fact that the reason that we're actually here is for academics. And we do have 4 initiatives underway. We're hoping to establish a syllabus bank, which would function like exam bank. We're hoping to increase the number of first-year half credits available to respond to demand for new departments such as Aboriginal Studies, Middle Eastern Studies, African Studies, and the like. And finally, to establish greater, communication between departments and to facilitate cross-disciplinary studies.
So how does how do you guys go about creating new departments? Like you mentioned, the African Studies and the Middle Eastern Studies. How do you go about making sure that that's something that we can see? Because you guys only have a year to do it. So how are you going to make sure that this is something that is continuous, it continues on? Well, the AMS itself obviously isn't going to go in and create the departments, but really, once again, this is tying into the idea of the AMS as a lobby force. And we've spoken to the VP Academic, Patrick Dean, and we've spoken to several faculty members and student groups. And there are currently initiatives underway to get these departments, on the go. And so what really we would do is just use the AMS as a platform from which students could actually voice their concerns and put pressure on the administration to actually develop these programs, which are in high demand and would actually serve to, comply with the administration's rhetoric of engaging the world and establishing a diverse education for Queens. So what's your position on paid executive positions in organizations like Queens TV and Cupid and all the other ones?
That's actually one of our main platform points, is expanding campus media. And working with that, we really want to expand the role of Queens TV as a media outlet. So right now, obviously, the Queens TV executives don't get paid a salary and only an honoraria. So that's definitely something we need to change for the amount of work they put in every week to put out a show. And really just bring QTV to relevance on campus and as a media outlet to touch the students by the AMS. So.
And we're also planning to put in 2 plasma screens that are just to be operated by Queens TV, so that you don't just have your half-hour slot once a week on cable TV. We also want to increase honoraria for all volunteers. We want for you guys to be broadcasting things like that you have on your video factory on screens, just generally like you guys would be operating it. I mean, we would help finance that, but it would be your own territory. So that's one of our media expansion ideas.
So how are you going to make sure that all these things are put in place, and that in the past we've seen a lot of promises come and go? How are we going to make sure that if you guys do win, you're going to be accountable for all the things that you say?
Well, I think one of the strongest things that our team has going for it is the fact that we formed early on. Talia and I actually got together in the summer one night at the Brass and decided that it was something that we wanted to do, and Ken joined us early on in September. And so we really had a lot of time to sit down with everyone that is involved in these different organizations and really actually establish the feasibility for all of our points. We've met with the right people, and we've garnered enough support that should we get elected, the development is already in the process.
All right, well, thanks so much, guys. Anything you want to add?
Check out all the team's websites. The most important thing for our team is voter turnout. We want to increase the voter turnout this year. We're hoping it's just 30% right now. We'd love to make it to 40, if not higher. So please check out every single team's website, compare, contrast, and vote on January 29th and 30th.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.